Bonjour everyone, it's Francois Lefoutre here. For this week's Sexcerpt, I'm going to be reading from my first book, There's Semen on the Poop Deck. This chapter is called Rolling in My Poop. The Raging Queen had two openings, one in the front at the mouth of the ship, and a smaller opening at the rear. The rear entrance had always been my favorite. The passage was long and narrow with a smooth finish. I am not the largest of men, but even so, it was always a tight fit, which made it quite the experience. It was as if, as I entered her, she was squeezing me tight, willing me never to go. I ran my hands along her through the length of her corridor, fingering her delicately in a loving embrace. My raging queen moved up and down underneath me in undulating waves, almost shuddering under my touch. She creaked and moaned, screamed and gyrated. And though she was for now under the control of my semen, it was I, only I, whose every order she followed. She submitted to me first, always to me, and I liked it that way. Yes, it was safe to say that every time I entered the Raging Queen, I fell in love with her all over again. I took a few steps and then paused a moment, never wanted to go in too far at once. Better to do it slowly, a little bit at a time, build up the anticipation, tease her, almost. She moaned louder, bucked harder, screamed with more fury. I had her right where I wanted her. I began to hear the mutterings of the men above me. That might have distracted a lesser man, but to me, it only made me want to go slower. I never shied away from being caught with my raging queen. Finally, with deeper penetration on every step, I reached the poop cabin. Most men are proud of their poops. How large they are, how beautiful they are upon close examination. Why, every rear admiral I met within minutes would ask of me if I wanted to see his poop, and of course I would accept. You never decline a man's invitation to show you his poop. And whether it was a clean poop or a messy poop, we'd spend the next several hours examining every inch of it, even playing games in it from time to time. Poker was a popular one. I've lost count of the number of times I've pokered in a man's poop. But while every man is proud of his poop, I happen to think that mine was especially delightful. It was larger than most, and I boasted that over 100 different kinds of woods had been inside of it. Dark woods and light woods, hard woods and soft woods, rough woods and smooth woods, strong woods and loose woods. There were traces of each all throughout my poop, most of which had been acquired during my various world travels. And I'd grown to love the darker, harder, rougher woods the best, so those were the ones I'd brought into my poop the most, but really I'd put anything strong or unique in there if it would fit. My poop, of course, was where I took my meals, so all my food would end up there eventually. I brought in all different kinds of nuts and meats and even the odd vegetable when I was in the right mood. And all of these would combine to give my poop a wonderful, oaky aroma that filled my nostrils with a musky bouquet. Yes, I loved my poop, and I spent as much time in there as possible. Thank you so much. If you like this, go ahead and click the link below. You can buy the books down there. Also, don't forget to subscribe so that any time I send out my tube, you are the one to get it.